Welcome to the Quiet Chronicle. Tonight, I'd like to share with you a real story, a quiet miracle that happened in the cold mountains of Norway. It's a story about survival, about time slowing down, and about how sometimes the human body does something no one expects. So, settle in, relax your mind, and let's begin. It was May 20th, 1999. The air in the mountains near Narvik, Norway was crisp and peaceful, the kind of cold that feels clean, almost soft. A young woman named Anna Bågenholm, a radiologist from Sweden, had gone skiing with two of her colleagues. They weren't doing anything extreme or dangerous, just enjoying the snow, the mountains, and the quiet. The sun was still high. In northern Norway, daylight lingers long into the evening. Everything felt safe, familiar, and beautifully calm. No one could have predicted what would happen next. As Anna was skiing downhill, she hit a patch of ice hidden beneath the snow. Her skis slipped, and she lost control. Before she could react, the ground under her gave way. It wasn't solid ice. It was a thin, frozen layer covering a stream. Anna fell through the ice, straight into freezing water that rushed below. Her friends rushed toward her, but the opening in the ice was small, and the current pulled her deeper beneath the surface. The ice sheet sealed most of the hole above her. Only a small air pocket formed between the ice and the water, just enough for her to breathe. She was trapped, completely unable to move, cold water pushing against her body, ice above her, the world outside fading. When most people fall into freezing water, the body goes into shock. Survival time is usually measured in minutes. But something unusual happened to Anna. Her body temperature began to drop rapidly. Within minutes, she became hypothermic, deeply, dangerously cold. Her friends tried desperately to pull her out, but the ice was thick, slippery, and unbreakable with bare hands. They couldn't reach her, and they couldn't see her clearly through the cloudy ice. They called for help. Minutes felt like hours. Finally, around 40 minutes later, a rescue team arrived. By then, Anna had stopped responding. She wasn't speaking. She wasn't moving. The rescuers managed to break the ice enough to reach her. When they pulled her out, her body temperature was 7 degrees Celsius, the lowest ever recorded in a human who survived. Her heart wasn't beating. To most people, this would seem like the end. But in a strange, quiet way, the cold had protected her. Normally, the brain can only survive about 4 to 6 minutes without oxygen. But extreme cold slows everything down. The heartbeat, the metabolism, the brain's need for oxygen. In Anna's case, the freezing water acted like a natural pause button. It didn't kill her. It preserved her. Her skin was white. Her pupils were fixed. She looked lifeless. But the doctors didn't give up. They knew the cold might have saved her even if she seemed gone. A helicopter flew Anna to the hospital in Tromsø, one of the few places equipped for such extreme emergencies. When she arrived, more than 2 hours after falling under the ice, she still had no heartbeat. But the medical team kept working. They placed her on a heart-lung machine, something that warms and oxygenates blood artificially. Slowly, very slowly, her temperature began to rise. 14 degrees Celsius, 18 degrees Celsius, 22 degrees Celsius, 25 degrees Celsius. Still no heartbeat. Then, after almost 3 hours of clinical death, her heart flickered. Once, then again, and then it began to beat, quietly, weakly, but alive. The doctors in the room stared in disbelief. No one had ever seen something like this. Anna remained in a deep coma for days. Her body had been so cold for so long that no one knew what would happen when she woke up. Would she remember anything? Would she walk again? Would her brain recover? One doctor said later, "We had no medical explanation for why she survived. We still don't." A week passed, then 2, and slowly, her eyes opened. She could move her hands. She could speak quietly. She could recognize people. There were tears in the room, from nurses, doctors, and her friends. Anna wasn't just alive, she was herself. It took months for Anna to fully recover. She had some nerve damage in her hands, and her feet tingled for a long time. But she had her memory, her mind, and her life. No one had ever survived being so cold for so long, with a heart that had stopped for hours. Anna went back to her job as a radiologist, the same job she had before the accident. She continued skiing. She continued living her quiet life. Nothing about her looks extraordinary on the outside, but on the inside, she holds one of the most extraordinary survival stories ever recorded. Anna's case changed modern medicine. Her survival showed something remarkable. Sometimes the cold protects, sometimes the body knows how to wait, and sometimes, in the quietest moments, miracles happen. Doctors still talk about her case today, not as something frightening, but as something deeply human, hopeful, and mysterious. A reminder that even when everything seems frozen, life might still be there, waiting. Thank you for listening to this quiet, true story. This has been the Quiet Chronicles. Sleep well, and until the next gentle mystery.